Hello everyone, welcome. Apologies we're a tiny bit late, but it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday evening, we're here. British Steel Challenge time. Obviously, in real world, of course, Roma will have won the Europa League by the time we finish the stream, because they've taken the lead and gone 1-0 up, and Jose's just parked that bus and get right there, so Sevilla can't get that one back. But that is a trophy that Roma can win. We need to look at what Crystal Palace can win, because we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup yesterday and that wasn't ideal. So now we need to work out, can we win the FA Cup, or can we win the Premiership, or do we have to consider something else? Welcome everyone. Hope you're well. As I say, Wednesday evening. We've got some people in the chat tonight, haven't we? Dan FM is in, but then he's off to go and do the COSA Cup. So, first night on mod duties, and he's off doing COSA Cup. So, fair play. Never mind. In the Arsenal, welcome in. JT FM is in as well. Bearded Child, Frozen Luffy, Raggio, Rada. Dropping caps. Drop the caps, mate. It's fine. Drop caps. Caps is good. We're out with that. Czar, up the fucking JD Cymru North. That's what we're saying. Czar very much putting their sort of standpoint on where they think we should be going after this, because let's be honest, we don't necessarily want to be at Crystal Palace much longer, according to Czar. Nige says only really move if we can find a club that offers us more chance of winning something. Agreed, that's understandable. Monrad, you could win the cup, you could get your reputation up a point. A rich club approaches you, that could work as well. Zeep is in as well. Welcome, Zeep. Lane, don't worry, you are where we are. We need a refund, says Rada. Yes, it's fair point, to be honest. Yeah, I was about to come on and I was just like, oh shit, I need to cook some chicken for tomorrow. So yeah, whack down the slow cooker straight away, because that's just what life is like these days now. Yeah, there you go. That's the reality. Yeah, just meal prepping before we get started. So we are currently, as you can see, we are currently 13th in the Premier League. Our top goal scorer has 2 goals. Great. Our top assister has 2, and our highest average player is the same player, Damjanovic. Look at that, loving life. Played 9, won 2, drawn 3, lost 4. Goal difference of -4. Points 9. Sunderland on 6, Derby on 4, QPR on 3. It's all right. We beat Leeds 2-1. We lost to Tottenham. We lost to Fulham. We lost to Villa. We drew with QPR and Wolves. We lost to Fulham in the cup on penalties. That was the kicker. Carabao Cup, we lost on penalties. We were doing pretty well, to be honest. Tom Hayes got ourselves a good start. Then, unfortunately, we just conceded at the back end of the second half, and it was like, right, fine, no worries. Can we hold on? No extra time, straight to penalties, got knocked out. Bugger. Beat Arsenal. That's a huge result there. Drew at Brighton. Should have really beaten Brighton, but Aquino got himself sent off. So that was a bit of a shame, to be honest. 2 matches, of course, that come up now. Sheffield United at home. They're currently 6th. Sunderland away. That's going to be a big one, to be honest. Chelsea at home. Derby away. Manchester City at home. So we're probably targeting 2 wins at the very least out of those 3. What's that? 5 games there, which again, 6 more points would kind of move me up. It would kind of move us. I reckon 6 points might move us to about 10th, which, for a promoted side, we look, board expectation, avoid relegation. At the minute, we're doing that, right? So things are going well in that sense. Don't get sacked is essential. So don't get relegated is where we are. We have sort of nosed around to see what might be about, because of course, as we say, if you're brand new, this is British Steel Challenge. So the idea being we want to try and win all the trophies that are available in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. Now, we might have to start looking at things to be like, well, actually, we might have to move somewhere quickly. Subbuteo Online, welcome in, appreciate the follow. This could potentially be one of my favourite accounts. Subbuteo Online, love that already. Welcome. Hope you're good. Appreciate the follow. Pull yourself up a sofa. Come and join us. The plan, of course, being, if you've not seen British Steel before, you have to win everything: England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. It just makes it a bit tricky because Crystal Palace, we've been here for, this is our third season now, and it's fun and it's good. We've got ourselves in a good position. Like, it's a long-term save project. We could build something with Crystal Palace. However, we're 16 seasons in, we've won 10 trophies, we've got 35 to win, so we've got 25 more trophies to win. FM24 comes out in November. We need to get a bit of a move on, right? So we might have to move, and we move into a new club, go elsewhere. If you're a subscriber, though, either via like subscriptions or via Prime, you get access to the save file. So at the end of every season, we pull out the save file, we drop that into the Discord, and you get to continue for there. So that's an option. Now, what we have to look at, though, of course, is what is our next move. Can we get something from Crystal Palace? Can we win the FA Cup? Maybe. Can we win the Premier League? Unlikely. Can we get a move to a bigger Premier League club who are maybe still in the FA Cup or the Carabao Cup? Possibly. Do we just move to Wales and try and do something in Wales? Maybe. Maybe we do. Sevilla equalise. Oh, football is happening. Football is happening. Jose will not be happy about that. How long's left, Zeep? Because that could be quite an ending, to be honest. So we do have to, of course, look out. For other options that might come our way. Keep our eyes on Airbus, right? Airbus in the Cymru Premier. They are in need of a bit of TJ affection, but TNS, of course, could always be there as well. But Bala flying, Barry flying. They're the teams we want to be looking at in Wales to win the Premier with. Obviously Celtic in Scotland. But yeah, there are some things we still need to do in Northern Ireland. I don't think we'll go back to Northern Ireland. I sort of feel as though, realistically, we stay in the Premier League for another couple of years, or we go to Wales, top division, or we go to Scotland. I think SPL is probably the higher move because after Wales, we'd struggle to get back to the Premiership, I think. But that's not to say that we can't. So Brentford 0, Sunderland 0. That's the thing. Only Wales at this stage if someone like TNS or maybe top side like Airbus get relegated. Well, Airbus look like they're on the way down, Nige. Obviously what it means is it looks really odd to go from Premier League to Cymru North or Cymru South. That's what's really bizarre. A15, even Tony, I'm still in a bit of a sulk with the Spurs and Postecoglou news. Right, I saw a little bit about this. What's happened? Have they approached him? Have Celtic said it's fine? Fill me in on what has gone on, because if he leaves to Tottenham, it's a great opportunity for him, of course. What does Celtic do next? Do they go back? Do they go back for Brendan? Oh dear. Load of shite that has emerged as he is the preferred target. I mean, Franco, he's a great manager, though. He's a great manager. Postecoglou is very, very good. Not turns into my God-forgotten the word not in there. Oh, look at this. Speaking of people who could possibly take over at Tottenham, Mr. Rich Owens. How the devil are you, mate? If you're not following Rich Owens, make it your civic duty to follow Rich Owens. Rich has supported me for 23 months. 23 months, my word. Everett's been sacked by Huddersfield. How are the Huddersfield getting on? Bottom of the Championship, Jesus. Oh dear. That hasn't worked well at all, has it? Rodgers moved back into his place outside Glasgow. I mean, Brendan Rodgers back to Celtic, that could work. Although there what was the situation when he left? Did people understand why he left to go to Leicester? Or is it still a bit like, how dare you leave sort of thing? Still living out your Palmer's fantasy, living on a building site, mate, 100%. Like, it's great. It's great. Marty NJ in with the sub, 2 months on there. Well, look at that. Appreciate you. Very, very kind. Indeed. Did a midnight runner from Celtics today, 15. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Did he get a load of grief from death threats? Was that Neil Lennon? That was Neil Lennon got that one, I think, Franco. But yeah, it's the thing is, there's always going to be a certain selection of fans who just take things badly and take things personally. Do you know what I mean? And football fans just need to just chill out a bit. And I know that's not a thing that football fans can do, to be honest. But hey, let them try. Let them try. Gray's doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sense. Isn't it just, Rich? Isn't it just? Speaking of heavy lifting, I tweaked the lower part of my back yesterday doing deadlifts, so didn't do any lifting today, sadly. No issue with Ange going to Spurs, by the way. Yeah, I mean, look, end of the day, I think Postecoglou is a great manager, and I think he could do really well at Spurs. I think his style of football suits what they want to do. I think him with Harry Kane would be fun to watch. I think he'll be all right. Obviously, I feel bad for Celtic losing a very, very good manager, but with all due respect, I don't think Celtic have got too much to worry about. You know, it's not like Rangers are any good. Again, they've sort of like managed to sort of like push a bit more daylight between themselves and between themselves and Celtic. So yeah, it should be fine. If Brendan Rodgers goes back to Celtic as well, I think that'd be quite interesting, to be honest. So yeah, let's see how that one plays out, shall we? Hit the headline of he's the preferred target, approach 6 others at first, but he's the preferred target. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to try and spin it somehow, aren't they? But maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's all been. I guess unless someone comes out and says they've definitely been approached, then they could always say, well, actually, he was a preferred target, and we waited until after the Scottish Cup, and then everything else was paper talk. We're never going to fully find out, I suppose, unless someone from the inside says, yeah, all these managers got approached, they all turned Tottenham down, which, given previous Tottenham managerial recruitment processes, would suggest that has been the situation, which is weird. I don't understand why people don't jump at the chance for Tottenham, because it is, on the face of it, is a good club to go to. It's well set up. There's maybe not the money that you'd expect, but there's still definitely cash there, and you could do something with it. Someone could do something with Tottenham, surely. We can just give a goal away there to Sheffield Wednesday, Sheffield United. That's a terrible, terrible start. They'll have to deal with Daniel Levy. Yeah, I guess, but awful clearance. So yeah, 1-0 down against Sheffield United. Not the game that we're expecting to win here though, so fine, scrub it out on your calendars. We're not expecting 3 points here. Sheffield United are going flying up the league, haven't they? Early pace setters. Spurs are applying for someone from the City group to run the football operation. Starts tomorrow. Ugh. Sports washing just takes over, doesn't it? That's how it works. He needs a working holiday back to Brazil. Maybe the Championship was his level, Franco. Because he was so good last year, wasn't he? He was so good. But then again, maybe it's just an early season blip. What a ball that is, Correa. Levels it up. Eli. So when the stream turned into Sheffield United love in. Well, Rich, I'm sure your stream the other day was absolutely neutral, wasn't it? The Sheffield Wednesday situation would have been very much sort of kept to a minimum, I presume. Oh, Quino. Got to score. Congratulations, by the way, Rich, for Sheffield Wednesday being promoted into the Championship. Thoroughly deserved. Maybe not necessarily in the final game, because from what I understand, the game was quite poor, or at least I've been led to believe he's quite poor. But overall, as part of the season, like, I quite like the fact that the team that have finished third have got themselves promoted. Same as with Luton, you know, they've finished third, they've got themselves promoted, they finished strong, so I've got no problem with them getting promoted at all. Wednesday, however, of course, we need them promoted. Get them back in the Championship, because otherwise that club was fucked. And you can't have a team like Sheffield Wednesday fucked. It's not good. So nice to get them back up. Good, obviously, to see. Oh shit! Yeah, no, I haven't put the other lads back in. Whoops. Good, well remembered, Franco. Yeah, no, good to get them back in. And also Wednesday versus Sunderland next season as well. Love that. And Wednesday versus Leeds. That's also going to be a little bit interesting, isn't it? Surely that'll be a quiet night at the library. Not. So yeah, that should be the Championship's going to be great next year. Like it's always great, but it's going to be extra great. Looking at the teams that have come down, the teams that have gone up, teams that were already there, it's going to be so much fun. Haymaker's not offside, surely. Correa's not offside. You can't disallow that. Where is he? Where's the line? If the Haymaker, what a strike that is. Goals given. Goals given 2-1. Captain Colossus strikes again. Sad thing about Luton getting promoted is now they can afford the new stadium and leave Kenilworth Road. Yeah, I guess that there is that. That is the thing. But I mean, they're still not going to be able to leave Kenilworth Road next season. And even then, the problem is they'll leave Kenilworth Road if, for example, they get relegated straight away. Then I don't think they'll buy a new stadium, because why would you want the albatross of a new stadium hanging around your neck if you get relegated straight away? Everton clearly already struggling with the idea of a new stadium. They had to stay up because of the fact there was a new stadium. Otherwise, they were done for, I reckon. They were heading like to Portsmouth sort of territory. I think redevelopment, I think, is what they're doing, Franco. Yeah. They're, from what I understand as well, a lot of it is to do with the TV cabling. So get it all set up. 10 million to get TV ready, which isn't really a lot, to be honest. When you think about it, the stadium's going to have to stay as it is, but I thought that to get UEFA ready, like for it to be classified as a Premier League for elite level, then there's a few bits and pieces they've got to do. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be too much that's going to happen at Kenilworth Road. I can't imagine that they're going to put too much in. They'll put the bare minimum in, I guess, because they're not going to. Like, it would be foolish to be like, right, let's redevelop, let's knock a stand down and go again. Let's get planning permission for a brand new stadium, because they've got to consider, rightly or wrongly, they're probably thinking, okay, they're going to get one season in the Premier League. That's what they'll budget for. Because if they get relegated, then what? So if you can do the bare minimum and just, survive, then you can start to add to it. Coventry got to keep the gate receipts for losing the final, and Luton also gave them a payment as well. That's nice. That's nice. But this is what the thing is, though, with the Football League. Like, these clubs have been through the shit. They've been through it all. Like, so they appreciate it. Not like the team who are on parachute payment FC. Yeah. Have to build all sorts of TV towers to get the angles that the Premier League system must be able to use for broadcasting. Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Mad in it to think they've got to develop stuff just for TV. They're behind the goal camera if you were lucky. They're not going to stand down. They'll also flatten half a dozen houses. Yeah. A lot of clubs have got that problem, haven't they? Liverpool, of course, Newcastle. He's gone forward. Oof. It's VAR angles. I think Everton obviously had to move as well because of that situation. I think, might be wrong. Fulham, of course, they're stuck. They can't move because of houses either side. Hope you're well, Jim. Thoughts? Nice to have you in. Pleasure to see you. We just dropped you a little shout, by the way. So go and make sure you go and follow JM also. Missed the old stadium. Damjanovic. Where each and almost everyone had their own distinct camera heights and zoom angles. Yeah, I missed the old White Hart Lane that had the lower angle. It looked like you were playing FIFA. Aquino. 3-1. There we go. We weren't expecting to beat Sheffield United, but we've absolutely done them. Getting battered by Esberg and a Danish network save. That sucks. Aquino, bottom corner. 3-1. Question coming in from Lulu Buster. How's the job centre? Are we moving on? I don't know at the minute, Lulu Buster, to be honest. We'll have to wait and see. We have been knocked out of the FA Cup, so that is a bit of a concern for Palace. Obviously, sorry, no, we've been knocked out of the Carabao Cup. Sorry, my mistake. Knocked out of the Carabao Cup. We're still in the FA Cup only because it hasn't started yet, and we're unlikely to win the Premier League in our first season. But we're not bottom of the league, so that's all we can hope for, right? See, he gets it away. I thought Hunsworth was going to bury that. I did as well. I was thinking Hunsworth's got that one. That is a huge win. Huge, massive win. Sheffield United currently 6th. We're up to 11th. Oh, hey, get your passports out, everyone. We're going to play European football next season. Goal difference of -2. Oh my God, we've practically won the league. Flying, absolutely flying. Like I genuinely can't see us losing another game now. 100 points is back on, or everything that we've said previously is coming to pass. We are, the song, like that you're by far the greatest team the world has ever seen. I think it's genuinely about this Crystal Palace side, with no hyperbole at all. Evening, Crystal. Evening, Carlisle fan. Welcome in. Congratulations on getting promoted, by the way. If we have 2 good seasons, a high club offers a job and we win the Premier League and start Europe. Plan comes together. The plan comes together. Because we can start adding extra bits and bobs in, can't we? There's nothing there that's going to move us at the minute. You're right, maybe there is a big Premier League job comes in at some point. And they're like, hey, how about this? What's happened to Hayes and Warwick? Have they developed a poor relationship? No, not really. I think it's just, I think they are just, yeah, it's fine. Little nudges. It's an interesting one because obviously, they're not playing the selected roles, have the role assigned both suits well. I think because of the fact that they would have had a stronger bond when they're on loan, but for some reason the game's classed Warwick as a new signing. I think because obviously he's now locked in permanently. That's how I imagine it to be. I could be wrong. Birmingham League 2, yeah, it is quite surprising, to be honest. They've massively fallen down. The league's situations do look a little bit different now. So this is where the Premier League is. So teams you kind of expect to be in the Premier League, really. No massive surprises per se. The Championship has Manchester United in there, so that's a bit of a surprise. I think that's the one that everyone's probably most surprised at, really. Man United there in the Championship. Blackburn, Everton not doing too great. They're maybe potentially dropping down to League One, maybe. Where you're also going to find teams like Hull have staying down there for a wee while. West Brom down there. All the teams that you kind of think, well, right, nothing else has really changed too much. League 2, South Shields, top of League 2. Sheffield Wednesday, down in 7th in League 2. And yeah, Birmingham. Where's Birmingham? Birmingham's there, 15th. They're not even doing well in League 2. So yeah, bit of a worry. FC Halifax are up into the Football League. How Oxford doing? Oxford, I think, are in League 1 still. There they are. Oxford 20th in League 1. So they're still hanging about, which is nice, but sad. I mean, that's really sad for Huddersfield, sat there in the bottom of the Championship. That's not great, is it? We don't like to see that, to be honest. No wonder they sacked the manager. I agree. If we were performing that badly, we'd get sacked as well. So yeah. Very understandable. Take the Premier League trophy, pack our bags for Europe. Birmingham and my game, bottom League 2, just gone into administration. They've sold £40 million worth of players, still in financial ruin. Yeah, that would be. You've got to feel bad, like for Birmingham City fans. They do have a bit of. Things are set up against them, aren't they? To be honest. All went wrong in this old rogue. Yeah, 100%. Couldn't see Bromley in divisions. They must have dropped to Vanarama. Well, Bromley was a last season job, wasn't it? Vanarama National. There we go. 11th in the Vanarama National. Was it Bromley? It was Brackley we were last year. Brackley. Dulwich Hamlets, 23rd. Northampton, Darlington. When Huddersfield reach Vanarama North, we can take them over and rebuild. Yeah, that's not a bad shout, actually. Who's in the Vanarama North? Anyone interesting? Stevenage, Blythe, Scarborough, Gateshead, Atherton Collieries, Needham Market. Obviously, you've got the brand new teams that have come through. Radcliffe, Hitchin, and then in the south, Merthyr, Cray, Carshalton. Canvey Island, Taunton. Loads of teams in there. Torquay, back down to the south. Torquay and Wickham in Vanarama South. They've really fallen. How Hitchin in the Vanarama North. I mean, hey, no one knows how they split the north and south anymore. I know, Raggio. I've just realised that. I need you to see that properly. Vanarama South, Wickham Wanderers. This is what's happened, mate. Your club have gone on. Maybe we go and we save Wickham for you. Look at that. League 1 in 29-30. It all went downhill, didn't it? Oof. Like, not good. Not good at all. Ian the Sports Mad, how are you, pal? Welcome in. Frankie Marmalade's still there, though. I say still there. He has joined from Oxford via Tamworth. Hope you're well, Sports Mad. Just in time for the Sunderland game as well, mate. You've timed that perfectly. Although Sunderland are second bottom, and we're 11th. So I'm coming into this one off the back of 2 wins as well. 2 wins. So I'm hoping, as much as it's going to pain me, I'm hoping for a Crystal Palace win. 3 wins on the bounce. That should put us very, very comfortable in that mid-table bracket, which might set us up for half a chance of making it to mid-table come Christmas. Obviously, a lot can change. A lot can change in that time, but I think I'll be like, maybe we could do it. Whatever happened to our East 5 stormy winter? That's a good. Was it winter with a Y? I think, wasn't it? Snowy winter. There he is. He's at Telford. He's still only 22. I guess we did. Was he what, 18 or something? 17, 18 when we took him on. So yeah, two full seasons at East Fife, then straight into Telford. He's been a permanent signing. First of all, 43 games, then dropped down to 14 and 15. So, yeah, he's done pretty well. Broke his leg last year. That probably explains why he wasn't playing for a fair bit. But there you go. Telford. I think in real life, Joe Bellingham's off to Sunderland for £3 million. Not for that's what we can. That's sort of what we understand is happening up here, up north. I think that seems to be the news that's circulating anyway. Well, that's Stevenage, that famous North team. I mean, look, Bishop Stortford are apparently in the Vanarama North this season, and it's created a lot of concern and a lot of confusion, particularly from people like myself in the North who go, "Hang on, no, that's past Durham. That's not the North. Like, don't start getting me into what's North and what's South, you know." And you know, some people going, "Oh yeah, but you know, there's like, you know, it takes ages to drive to the southwest." Well, that's not my problem. That's their own stupid fault for being in the southwest. Oh. Blythe Spartans versus Bishop Stortford is a 36-hour round trip, possibly. I don't know. Probably, I maybe made that up slightly embellished it, but too much pointless Midlands. Yeah, exactly. Dig it up, Zar. Dig it up and just put it out to the side and be like, right, if anyone's back in, let us know. Like Northampton. I've got nothing against Northampton per se, but unless it can prove a reason to be brought back into the country, put it to one side, come back to it later. All the clubs in the north and south, the south of Bishop Stortford. That's why, yeah. Well, that's true. All the clubs in the national south of Bishop, yeah. But Bishop Stortford is also very, very much in the south, I think. Kettering, like, where's Kettering? Do we need Kettering? I think we could do a bit of redistribution of the UK and just zone it all down to about 7 cities. 7 cities, 12 towns, and the rest of it just put it out to sea. Like, you know, just like, right, just you all live there now. Sorry, Lewisham, like, you know, Barnet. I don't know. I don't really know. I'm sure some people will turn around and be like, no, we definitely need these places. I have changed the goal here, by the way. I've changed the goal. Kitowowski is back in goal. Bigsy has to come in for Warwick, unfortunately. Lewisham is class. Oh, okay. I've misjudged Lewisham. Where is Lewisham? Lewisham sounds London. Next year, Ice Hockey League will have fixtures like Romford versus Dumfries and Telford versus Dumfries. Really? That's quite a distance, isn't it? Right, here we go. Stadium Light then. Sunderland versus Kettering. You can win this one just setting up Sunderland save for the 98-99 database. Oh, mate. I saw your 98-99 database update, so I'm glad you've gone on to FM23 and gone straight there as well, Sportsman. That's a perfect idea. It's worse than Croydon. Shots fired, literally. And there will be because it's in London. Bigsy gives it away. Fabio picks it up. Babadi. Grimes with a great tackle. Just working out whether we should have gone 2 DMs or not, but then again, Sunderland are down near the bottom of the league. Aquino back to Correa. Oh, decent. Only knife crime in London. Guns are Nottingham, aren't they? guns are a Nottingham thing. Fabio heads it over the top. Should I have my 2 DMs in? We'll see. We'll see. We'll just hope that Grimes, Biggs and Hayes can run that midfield. And Pens and Rabuano and Muller in the midfield 3 for Sunderland. Property agents call Lewisham up and coming. Oh, right. That again, right. Here's the thing, okay? I don't know. Going through London, I don't know what is posh and what's not. Because some of it I look at and I'm like, really? This is posh, is it? Don't know about that. You hear a place like Peckham are like posh and you're like, right, okay, interesting. Not sure I agree, but fine. Evening MIG, how are you, buddy? Barcelona and posh and poor at the same time. Yeah, that's probably it, Monoret. That's probably what confuses me. The fact that one street is posh, one street's not, but in the same area. I guess that's the bit that is my noodle scratcher. Here's Damjanovic. It's just one massive hole put out to sea. I would love that. I would love London to just be in the middle of the ocean. Love it. Just have a massive hole in the UK where London used to be. So, right, if you love London that much, fucking go on and sail to it. Career off the bar. Yeah, London and the Midlands. So floating ghetto water world. Yeah. No, Chelsea's posh, and that's where I'm saying my nana watch Made in Chelsea. Oh, your nana watches Made in Chelsea. That sounds like an insult. Your nana watches Made in Chelsea. Oh, hang on. Fabio's gone through. Lewisham's a place the Tories also claims full of the loony left, very anarchist. Oh, okay. Well, right. Well, maybe we'll put Lewisham back in. Sorry. Sometimes look, you lot all know me. Sometimes I just say words that I hear in my head. And I go, let's say that out loud. No. Actually, is Lewisham Corbyn's constituency? Is that where I've heard the word Lewisham from? Is that where I've heard it from? You may remember being from such places as the news. He's North London, Corbyn is Islington, isn't it? All right, yeah, there you go. I mean, I don't know. You know, if we're voting on Lewisham to stay in, okay, fair enough, right? Haymaker, you've got to score that. Great block by Kane. Diane Abbott's Hackney. Okay, famous for the cabs. Probably never been to Lewisham. Okay, right. Well, I might Google what's in Lewisham. Okay, what is it? Oh, South East London. Right, okay. It's part of Greenwich and Lewisham. Z. Gang crime, yeah. I mean, there's gang crime in most of London, I'm guessing. So. Right, 0-0 against Sunderland. I'm thinking we had this one down as a game that we thought we could win. Obviously, we beat Sheffield United instead, so maybe that's fine. We're still up on our points planner. Maxo down the line for Aquino, pulls it back for Correa, straight at the goalkeeper. How's respect the point? Agreed. I'm wondering when they put Daniel Day-Lewis on. That'll maybe drop. those two DMs back for 10 minutes. Daniel De-Lewis is a DLF at the minute. We'll possibly have them on the out. Has JJ got Premier League looking yet? He has. He's popped on in a couple of times. He's about to get a run out against Sunderland, to be honest. So let's do that. Oh, look at that. It's only bloody FM Llama. Hello, Llama. How the devil are you, sir? Welcome in, buddy. Always a pleasure to see you. Hope life is treating you good. Of course, if you're not following Llama, why the devil not? Make it happen. Go and follow the manager's seat as well. How's life, my man? Hope everything's good in your world. Just about to witness possibly a 0-0 draw against Sunderland. We've just beaten Sheffield United. We've just beaten Leeds. We've beaten Arsenal. Respect the point, I think. Respect the point. You know, we should have been okay. 4 points from 2 games is decent. I mean, yeah, I said we wanted 6 points from 5. So if we've got 4 from 2 already, that's, you know, if we get that win against Derby, then we're quids in, right? We're pretty much champions. I'm sure that's how it works. Feeling good? How's Palace in the Premier League going? You know what? I think it's going all right, Llama, to be honest. I think we've got a couple of... I think we recruited fairly well. So I'm pretty happy with what we've got. And I think that given the fact that we've stuck with the 4-3-3 we had last year, yes, we've had a couple of bad results. Bad result against Fulham here. A narrow defeat to Villa. A narrow defeat to Tottenham. A sucker punch against Brentford. I actually think we're playing all right. Like, you've just come up automatically. You know what I mean? You're not going to expect to go flying straight up in the league. But, you know, results are what they are. 3 wins and 4 draws out of 11 games. I think everyone would have taken that at the start of the season. You know, we're not in the bottom 3. That's all we have to do. We're not in the bottom 3. We are out of the Carabao Cup. That's a bit of a shame. But, you know, it's fine. We'll push on. We'll push on. There's nothing that's out there right now that's changing our viewpoint that we're at the best club we can be. You know, there isn't a better job. I'm not going to Newcastle at all. That's not a thing. It's unfortunately just don't get relegated challenge. I mean, it could be. We could turn it into that, Zar. And so far, I've not been relegated, so we're doing all right. Wolves' job's insecure. The Sunderland job's insecure. The QPR job's insecure. The Newcastle job's insecure. Ha ha ha. Falkirk insecure. Kidderminster, we do need that. We do need that. But I think to drop down all the way to Kidderminster would be suicide at this point. We could have with Newcastle. We could, but sports washing. So can't really do that. Not gonna let it happen. Not gonna let it happen. It's just one of those things. Pen Godfrey at Shrewsbury. Left field, shout me down. Do we sim to the end of season if we're out of the cup? I sort of get where you're coming from. But we're not out of all cups yet, though. We're only out of one. We're not out of the FA Cup yet. So technically, until we're out of the FA Cup, we might as well stay at Palace. The only other thing we could do is we could look at the Carabao Cup and see who's still in that. Hearing it out loud felt dirty. So having a look in here, so obviously Fulham are still in the cup, Liverpool are still there, Walsall, Newcastle, Arsenal, Brighton, Tottenham, Southampton. None of those jobs are available yet, apart from potentially the Newcastle job coming up, which again feels dirty. I don't want to manage Newcastle. I can't do it. The dirty sports washing, it can all go. You know, because I bet they've still got them. I bet those horrible owners are still there. Maybe not, but even still. New chairperson took over. Oh, right. It is still right. Okay, listen. It is still a no-go. It is still a no-go. But interestingly, the sports washing side of it has gone. So that's very, very interesting. We're still not doing it. But I think it's all gone. Evening mode, Sam. How are you, buddy? Take them, win the cup, and quit. See, there's also a thing of I don't want Newcastle to actually have any trophies. And fuck that, you know. Matteo Peno is a well-known humanitarian. He raises money for orphans and everything. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. None of the players get paid. They're all volunteers as well, which is lovely. It's really, really lovely. And they're carbon neutral now as well, which I think is fantastic. Everything's ethically and locally sourced. So, and there's not been a single execution for a week. Watches the oil of seabirds in his spare time. Yeah, he stands on landmines. He just taps area with his foot, just in case. Andrew, there's not been a single execution for a week. The first line I've heard. There's a new owner at Newcastle, Andrew, on the game. So, just putting context out there that there hasn't even been an execution this week. So, Newcastle fans are up in arms. Hey. But, yeah, we're still not doing it. Train sessions all week at community outreach like an order of monks. You think out the Chatler Trophy just because you're a mac of parochial rubbish. No. I'm denying it all because of the sports washing element. That's what I'm doing. And I'm not denying the chat trophies. I'm denying myself trophies. You know, I'd rather win it on my terms. You know, there's certain teams we've said that I don't particularly want to manage. And that's kind of the crux of where we're going to get to with a couple of teams. So, you know, we're going to cross those bridges when we get to it. Thankfully, I mean, we're not going to go applying for those jobs. If they come to us, it might be a slightly different issue, but we're not going to them. But the sports washing's gone. But the sports washing has gotten to the point of where they are, though. So, it's morals were absent in Northern Ireland. I love the hypocrisy. I did not want to manage Linfield. I made my point very, very clear about Linfield. I was very angry about it. I was like, fine, we'll just do it. But I did call them the Northern Irish Rangers. So that's why I've said we're going to go back to Celtic in Scotland. I know, Lama. I know. Got to play against Rangers as Linfield manager. Imagine how I feel. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, God, that'd be horrible. There's the save, of course, is available for subscribers to play. You know, I don't agree with you. I don't want to talk about it because I don't want issues. No, that's fine, Sam. Don't worry about that. Like, you know, it's fine. At the end of the day, it's just a video game, right? So it's not a massive issue. Obviously, my concern is with regards to real life stuff, and I'm allowing real life stuff to sort of have it come into my thinking here with how I play the game, and you know, that's fine. You know, if it gets to a point when people are like, oh, you know what, I really want to see someone manage Newcastle, it's not a stream. This is not the stream for them. You know, I'm trying to do it the nice way, but each to their own, right? If Celtic wants an ex-Linfield manager, that's an issue as well. Aberdeen, here we go. Saturday, I don't agree with sports watching, but everyone has their views and opinions. That's fair. It's fair, Sam. It's not a problem at all. That's the thing. We all do have our opinions, and yeah, unfortunately, sports watching is a thing. But yeah, as you say, we all have our opinions. Let's have a holiday to Bordeaux. Oh, now we're talking. Get me down to the Bordeaux region of France. Here we go. Do I have to complete the set and manage Rangers and then flagellate myself as penance? Oof. I think maybe you have to, yeah. I got Hoffenheim from 15th to 5th in the league. There we go. That's what it's all about, Sam. Amazing work there. How many seasons are you in now? Is this your first season, is it? Or are you sort of chipping away at it? Leclosian, by the way, might say I applied for the Preston North End job, who are somehow in the Vanarama National, hoping for an interview after I played the Champions League final. This is the beauty of this sort of save, though, isn't it? Getting to that point when you're in somewhere like that and then being like, right, now it's time to drop down. You know? Hoffenheim isn't really a nice club either. Really? What have Hoffenheim done? All football clubs are shit, really, aren't they? Let's be honest. Like, let's pull it back around properly. All football clubs are just a bit shit. I'm gonna Google what's wrong with Hoffenheim now. What's wrong with them? Formerly gymnastics club, financial backers. Sorry, I'm getting myself distracted. I shouldn't I? They had Ralph Rangnick, they had Julian Nagelsmann. What's happened? Where's the badness there? Controversy, okay. Oh, okay. They're just like a little satellite club, are they? Okay, fair enough. Often I make kids into football slaves in their academies in Brazil and Portugal. Ah, right, okay. First season FM is right ball struggling to get through, but powering on. It can be, Jay. That is a struggle, that first season, to be honest. I think it's because, like, how do you do it? Do you have? This is maybe just me actually. I switched the first season's transfer window off as well, and because if I ever do play sort of like near the top of the higher divisions, I sort of think that all their business has already been done. So to change the database at that point by then allowing them to make more changes just feels a bit off. So I kind of like try and like lock it off at that point. But you're right, just getting through that first 10 games, that first 15 games, it does feel like a bit of a grind, doesn't it? Because you are sitting there going, is this the save for me? Do I really want this save? Can I connect with this team? Like, where am I going? So, yeah, I get that. I get the first season is a bit, yeah. After that, oh, God, Damjanovic. Run the Spanish League with Bilbao. Nice work, Sam. Bilbao's a great save. That's a tricky one as well, by the way. Obviously, when you sign a Basque players. The only burst of my first Watford season was a nightmare. The signs I got dumped in were trash. Again, yeah, a couple of bad signings, and it's like, oh, what have I done? A couple of good signings, and you're away. But yes, that's the thing, like sort of trying to work out your tactic, the expectations of the club. Like, that's why I like going lower down, because you can slowly ease yourself into the game. I've found that if I'm at a higher level club, then I really find that the pressure's just too much from day one. So I'm never going to quite reach those heights, because I like to try and like experiment, tweak around with a few things in terms of tactics, try and establish what I want from the club. And as you've seen in the beta, by that point, I'm sacked. So go back to the bottom. Do it that way. Anyway, 0-0 so far with Palace and Chelsea. And we missed a big chance. Daniel Day-Lewis should really have finished that 1-on-1, to be honest. I think about leaving them and joining Hamburg in the second division. I mean, look, German football, Sam. German football, there's a lot of good teams to enjoy in German football. Kaiserslautern, there's a club to go down and have fun with in the second division, presuming that they've not been promoted to the Bundesliga. Sao Pauli, proper left-wing club. It's great fun. We've been doing Dusseldorf in Discord. Yeah, we've done that. Actually, that should be finished today, in fact. That's been a lot of fun, because Dusseldorf are giving away free tickets next season, which is really cool. Really cool. Kaiserslautern is just a club I loved managing. Kaiserslautern on FM 21, maybe? Was it? Possibly? Maybe FM 20. Maybe it might have been the pandemic. And it was so much fun. Just properly got involved in it. I was like, yeah, Kaiserslautern's the way. And that was when they were in Liga 3. 3 Liga. Signed Isaac Liadji. I was over the moon with that. Oh, I was like, this is where we go. Sao Paulo doing food bank collections for each of the friendlies in Scotland. Yeah. That's like, they're just a top club, aren't they? Kaiserslautern is Sunderland in German. Yeah. 100%. I think we're about to nudge a point here against Chelsea. Maybe. It's going to be a great result. Jackson Irvine is a brilliant captain for Sao Paulo. Yeah, I mean, I think if you join Sao Paulo, you have to buy in with their belief system. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. You know what I mean? You know, when the poor Carla team called Firth beating Bayern. Nice. Yeah, Firth are an interesting little side, actually. They sometimes turn up in the game and they sort of like throw a few interesting results in. I think you're doing Kaiserslautern when we did the Creators Championship on YouTube. Yeah, that's right, Dan. It was. I just started all this content creation malarkey and Kaiserslautern was my team. Loved it. It's great. Die rotten Toffel. Get the ball away, that's what we do. Respect the point. 0-0 against Chelsea. That'll... Hey. That's alright, isn't it? That makes the 0-0 against Sunderland look really, really good. A Sunderland particularly left wing as a club. Not massively, I think, Jam. I think there was an interesting thing that had come out on, I don't know if it was The Athletic or whether it was, I think it might have been The Athletic actually, where they were trying to work out the political leanings of the supporter base. And Sunderland actually came out as the most amount of supporters who voted Lib Dem, which is interesting. Villa was the most Tory club. The most conservative voters were Villa fans, and the most Labour voters were Everton. So there you go. So that's the interesting take from that. It's curious. Some people slag Everton off for being Tory. Right, Jim. This is interesting. I'm glad you've led me into that. Right. I went on a bit of a fishing mission the other day, and the interesting thing is that everyone talks about, you know, Liverpool being the leftist leaning club in the world. They were founded by the Conservatives. So Everton were owned. Their original owner was head of the Conservative Party in Liverpool, and he was struggling to get a majority in Everton in the Everton boardroom because there was a lot of Labour members taking seat. So he was starting to struggle a little bit. So he left, set up a new team, Liverpool, got a load of his Tory mates involved in the running of the club, and therefore Liverpool was actually founded by Tories. So there you go. But no one's going to mention that bit. Hence why, of course, Everton are the People's Club. So there you go. Guardian newspaper was founded by a bunch of businessmen trying to shut down strikes and they campaigned hard against the NHS. Yeah. Everyone's a bastard when you think about it. Speaking of the People's Club, the Everton job's available. But they are 19th in the Championship. So we've already won the Championship. They are out, and they're already out of the Carabao Cup as well. So that's not going to go further than we did in it. Trent Gorski, what a name. Right. Sunderland job looks like it's going to come up pretty soon. Wolves job looks like it's going to come up pretty soon. Kelty Hearts. Kevin Cabois. Cardiff Drax. Couple of interesting ones coming. But at the minute, this is a real question, TJ. How are you finding Mastodon? Any good? You know what? I jumped onto Mastodon, and I'll come back to the Athletic question in a second. Arsenal. Mastodon, I signed up for it the same time everyone else did when they all went, all right, Twitter's burning, it's on fire. And I had a bit of play about with it. I never really worked out how to get engagement on it because I didn't really understand the difference with channels and networks. In theory, it feels like it should work quite nicely, but I think I joined when everyone else was joining, so it was a bit sluggish and a bit cumbersome. So I've not really gone back to it. My Twitter posts onto Mastodon all the time. So I don't know whether there's any engagement in there or not. But yeah, I found it a little bit difficult to work out, first of all. But I think that was partly because I was like, I'm sure Twitter won't burn completely. Right? Surely not. But the answer, by the way, to Hobbsy's question, taking a team from Conference South and North, taking a team from the Conference South, stuck in the Championship, third season in there, mid-table, no money, can't attract any big players. Tips. Right, first of all, Hobbsy, congratulate yourself. Right, you've gone from Conference North to the Championship. That's an achievement. Okay, I know you've got the back-to-back bounce that you get from League 2 and League 1. The jump isn't massive from the national, from Vanarama National League 2 and League 1. Getting to the Championship is a struggle, and it's going to be a struggle. It's designed to be a struggle, but just chip away. Like, what's your, as Raju said, like, what's your situation with money? Can you spend a bit? Can you loan players in? Are you maxed out on wages? Do you have players that you can sell? That's probably the best bit. Like, can you sell players to reinvest that money further down the line, and then, slowly manipulate the squad into something better? What's your tactic like? Are you set up to be quite aggressive? Are you set up quite passive? Are you looking to kind of like just grind results out and get draws, or are you looking to sort of play off the front foot? It's one of those things where, like, there's just so many variables that go into it to sort of be like, right, where are we? Work permits are a pain in the arse, can't hunt Wonder Kids. Well, yeah, also as well, you're in the Championship, so Wonder Kids in the Championship is probably, we got lucky with a couple at Palace, but look at Scandinavia. That's a great shout there, by the way, Zar. Don't be scared to get older players in for a year. Experience. Get a bit of experience goes a long way. Get a couple of experienced heads in. They can just help either stabilise a club or move you up just those couple of little places you want to do. It was something that we discussed, I think we discussed on the podcast. When you get promoted, look to bring in players who are on their way out of that division and say, look, right, I want to stabilise myself. Like, we haven't done that really here. It's kind of a bad example, really. We've come into the Premier League. We could have looked at getting a couple of players who've just been relegated out of the Premier League or are released from bigger teams who are 30, 31, 32. They know the league inside out. Could they move us? Could they guarantee us staying in the Premiership next season? They're the sorts of players that we need to be looking at. We haven't really done that. I think our oldest player here is 29 in the squad, so we've not got a massively old squad, but a 34-year-old Callum Doyle we released. In fact, actually, he's a good example. We brought him in last season in the Championship to get us up from the Championship, because 34 years old, bit of experience, knows what he's doing. He was pretty good for us. He helped push us out of that division. So yeah, have a look at those sorts of players as well. They can sometimes be decent, but don't sign them to like 4-year contracts. I know they might ask for 2 years, but try and nudge them down to 1 year. Try and look and see whether or not there's someone who you might want in the backroom staff a bit later down the line. That might help as well. Also as well, you don't want to be throwing Wonder Kids into pressure matches. Like if you've got 3 Wonder Kids, for example, or 3 young players who've got a bit of promise, those players really only develop, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but I think those players really only develop well when you're winning. Like, they don't develop as well if you're losing lots of games, because they're going to have those sort of like those, it's going to get into their mentality. They're going to get a losing mentality. They're obviously not going to be playing well, so that's going to have an impact on them. So the better players tend to develop better when you're winning. That's just sadly a bit of the way. If not, then they might sort of stagnate a little bit. In answer to the podcast question, we are definitely coming back. There was an email today where we're trying to establish our timeline. I would put something in your diaries potentially for around about July, maybe. I would say maybe consider that. Just put it out there. Just take of that what you will, but doesn't sound like it's too far off, does it? Spot on about not developing as well in the losing side. Look at that, Llama basically saying, hey, look, TJ, he almost knows what he's talking about. Almost Llama, but not fully. Valia, twisted ankle. Fuck. Injured again. Constantly injured. Got of experienced, physically fit players with teamwork, work rate, determination, and leadership. Yes, the TJ metric, the absolute TJ metrics. That's what I go for. Those four things are, for me, absolutely, you've got to have them. Determination, work rate, teamwork, stamina, or fitness. Either of those things. Has Valiant ever played? I think he's played about 4 games. I think he's worked out to be quite a poor signing, to be honest. He broke his ribs in 2 matches. He did. How much? What's he actually? He's going to work out to one of those, like, he's going to become a quiz question, isn't he? He's played 3 games. And 2 of those have been as a sub. Like, he's got 2 more years left in his contract with him, 45 grand a week. And he's just not doing anything. He's stealing a living, this guy. Carlos is in the window. I think so. Get him out. Even if we get 3 million or 4 million for him, then fine. We've won more titles than Mourinho, have we? There we go. Oh, speaking of podcasts, look at this. RDF Tactics is in the house. My guy is here. How are you, buddy? Welcome. How was the stream? How many more titles have you won this evening? Are you still unbeaten? Are you unbeatable? Welcome. You've joined us. Crystal Palace. Big shout out to RDF. If you're not following RDF, by the way, make sure you do. He's the exact opposite. He's the exact opposite of me. I'm proper chilled out. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, this is going to be fine. RDF, he gets in the zone. He gives you 110%. That man loses his mind. But he knows the game inside out. He knows everything you need to know. You need to be following this guy, right? Played 20, conceded 3. Tomorrow I'll definitely find something to moan about. Yeah, can't believe I conceded 3 goals. This is where we currently are. Look at this. We're trying a bit of a shutout defensively here. Back-to-back 0-0s, Sunderland and Chelsea. We drew 0-0 with QPR and Wolves. We clean sheet against Arsenal. 1 goal conceded against Leeds and Sheffield United. 1 against Tottenham. Basically doing a nice little. That's our sort of. Basically, we like lock everything down when we're playing a bigger team. We've played Chelsea, so we put all of our basically pattern midfield in, going back to what is our sort of standard 4-3-3. To be honest, when we're in a match that we think we can win, we are of course 16 seasons in though, so it's interesting to sort of get to the point now where most of the players are new gens. And we're still chasing trophies. We're knocked out of the Carabao Cup, so that's a bit of a concern as far as Palace are concerned in terms of the the hunt for the British Steel Challenge, but we're still technically in the FA Cup because we haven't played our game yet. And I'm looking around. I don't think there's anything else that's better on the table right now than staying at Crystal Palace. So we'll sort of keep our eyes to the ground, keep looking out. But I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be moving. You know. So we're away to Derby, who I think sit where they sat bottom. No, 16th. So. Yeah, we could do with getting a winner there against them, to be honest. But yeah, welcome in everyone. By the way, if you are brand new, feel free, drop a follow on. We do Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and yeah, it's usually good. Dino, hello mate, how are you? Been a while. Back tonight, and I see it's going strong. Last seat speech sounds like you're still enjoying it here. I'm keen to see the narrative of this manager having to go to manage the Welsh bottom tier. Mate, we've got to do it. Like, we sort of have a little cautionary glance at Wales, because that's where I think we're going to go next. We've had a bit of a nosy about, right? Colwyn Bay is there. Now, that is Premiership, so good, that's where we want to be, but that's a big difference between them and Barla. Airbus are sat bottom, so if they get relegated, then we go to Cymru North. There's only one promotion spot there, so we'd have to win the league with Airbus to come straight back up. You'd think we should, given the fact that they're a bigger side. Obviously there's some current concerns with clubs like Newcastle, who have just got rid of their sports washing owners, but even still, I'm not convinced I should be going there to manage them. You know, so we're keeping our eyes peeled at the minute as to what's what. Everton in the Championship, Manchester United in the Championship. That's an interesting one as well. That's the big one to look at. Birmingham in League 2, Wickham in the Vanarama South. There's been a few teams that have fallen a little bit, sadly. But yeah, there we go. Hobbsy, absolutely, yeah. As Rajjo says, hit the Discord. If anyone's brand new, by the way, feel free to join the Discord as well. You're more than welcome to come and hang out and just chill with us. It's pretty nice. We of course have just spoken about the podcast. Well, podcast is going to come back. As I've said, I would tentatively give you a some time in July. Put that in your diaries. It'll be good. Switzerland. Hang on. Now, I know that this is a British Steel Challenge, but I don't know. I don't think this is a thing we do, right? I don't think this is part of it. I mean, JM Thoughts loves the idea of us managing the Swiss national team, as you should, JM. This is right up your street, right? Where did that come from? We haven't clicked anything. But they just want us to replace Marcelino. Is that... He's 72. He's started his career in 1985. We're in 2037. He's Spanish Roy Hodgson. A distraction too far. But also, I mean, how have we got to this point? Because the interesting thing is, right? Go for the interview and see if they'll let you manage Palace as well. I think they tend to, because if they've approached you, they basically want you, don't they? There's not even an interview. It's just, you can't see it behind my head. Actually, let me just turn this off. If I click that, see? Accept or reject. That's all there is. Accept or reject. So we don't have an interview. We just basically are the Switzerland manager or we're not. Now, have they qualified for the Euro? They didn't. They didn't qualify for the Euros, right? Which means the next thing that they'll look at is the World Cup. I don't really. I think it's too much of a distraction. I tell you what I'm going to do. Right. I'm gonna make a save point. Right. Okay. Right. I'm gonna make a save point. Rogi's in 27 months. Rogi says don't do it. Okay. I'm gonna make a save point there. Okay. And then that can go into the Discord. Hold out for Azerbaijan. Now we're talking, Raggio. Right. This can go into the Discord. You can all play on. I'm rejecting it. Okay. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing Switzerland. And it's not because of the fact that I have anything against the Swiss. I think the Swiss are wonderful people. I went to the... I did a gig at the FIFA Museum in Zurich. Loved it. I thought Zurich was a beautiful, beautiful city. But it's not in keeping with what we're doing here. If Scotland come calling, we'll go and manage Scotland, right? Because it's going to be part of what we're trying to do. I just feel as though it would be an unnecessary distraction, I think. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that Azerbaijan, we did Azerbaijan. That was so much fun. But surely should be managing British national teams that adds more trophies to win. Well, and that's the thing, A15. We could do that, and that would be fun. Like, these are players that we've got setups for. So if Northern Ireland came in, for example, we've kind of got a bit of an understanding of the Northern Irish League. So we should be like, right, you know what? Yeah, we could maybe manage Northern Ireland. But I think Scotland. I think maybe even Wales. Maybe if the Wales job comes up, we manage the Welsh national team. Don't say that, Tony. The Wales job's going to come up, isn't it? Better safe to do offline to have more time to scout the players. That's a fair point, Nige. That's a very fair point. We don't know a lot of Swiss players. DJ Pedro getting caps. Oh, yes. Yes. Also, JJ ain't Swiss, is he? JJ's not Swiss. He can't get a Swiss passport. I can't be doing that. Can't be, jetting out to Switzerland all the time, leaving the boy at home. And plus, if we want to be winning stuff with Palace, I can't be getting on a plane to go to Switzerland. So, yeah, as fun as it would be, I think you're right. I think it's an offline bit. I'm not massively sold on international management, to be honest. Azerbaijan was a lot of fun, though, when we did that. That was so much fun. Never had you down as a tax-free Swiss money either. Well, no, I do try and keep myself moral. Usain Bournes. Nice ball through. There's the haymaker. Straight at the goalkeeper. Wait, hang on. He's playing out from the back, right? Grimes. Z. Grimes. The chat. Tries to get through Damjanovic. Intercepted. Damjanovic. Z. Here's a penalty. Oh! Doesn't need to be a penalty. Oh, Damjanovic. Makes it 1-0. Any word of Ross Stewart staying at Sunderland? I'm not sure, to be honest. A15, I think I said to a mate of mine today, slightly tongue-in-cheek, but I sort of meant it at the same time. I think if anybody comes with between 5 and 10 million for most of the Sunderland players, bar Patterson, the goalkeeper, I think we take it. Like, I think we just take it and, like, reinvest back in the club, because we've proven that we can recruit pretty well. And I just think that if we can put that sort of 5 and 10 million back in, then, you know, make it happen. Move wages around. You know, Stuart's not been released, so maybe there's a contract offer waiting. But the retained list was announced last week. His name was on it, so I don't know. Oh, rumours Rangers. It would make sense. It would make sense for him to go Rangers. If he's going to go, I could see it. I could see him leaving. You got to think as well. We've played most of the season without him, so as good as he is, we've kind of proven we don't. For want of a better phrase, we don't really need him. But we do, because obviously we're not going to Ahmad next year, and we do need him because he's a good player. But you know, it's not like we're losing Patterson. It's not like we're losing Jack Clark, who we might be losing as well. So it's always going to happen. Like, you know, when you get into those situations that you don't get promoted, other clubs do start coming around going, all right, we're going to start picking the bones and that. And that's fine. You know, teams will start coming, and okay, whatever. Like, it's just the way football is. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. As I say, if he goes, he goes. But it would be nice if he stayed. One all with Derby's not quite what we had in our minds, to be honest. But we managed to get ourselves some extra points we weren't really encountering. So great ball through Golubovic. Pulls it back. Damjanovic cleared away. Move that back down to balance, because they're going to hit us on the counter-attack otherwise. It's not been a game for the neutrals. 2 shots from them, 5 shots from us. Corner comes in. This is a goal for them, isn't it? Austin cleared away. Sondergaard cleared away again. Even Tom Parsons, how are you? Welcome in. Still keeps the points total ticking over. Exactly, Nige. That's the thing. We're ticking in. We're 5 points away from 20 points, which is almost halfway to safety, right? Aquino nips in, wins the ball. 20 seconds of normal time to play. Matty Warwick, Golubovic turns. Oh, off the post. That nearly gave them something to think about. And we still keep coming forward. Ball's in. Aquino. Warwick, Grimes. He's hitting players in there. Free kick. We're going to pass the whole time before. I might have asked, but I forgot. No, I don't know if you did ask for that. But if you did, Tom, no worries at all. But no, we haven't been there all the full save. We're doing it's called a British Steel Challenge. So we're trying to win all the trophies in England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. We started off unemployed with no badges, no experience. We went to Northern Ireland first of all with Banbridge in Division 3. And then we moved to Portadown in the Championship. Then we moved to Dungannon in the Premiership. Linfield in the Premiership. Then Oxford. They got relegated to Vanarama National. Then moved them up to League One. So we got back-to-back promotions. Then went to East Fife in Scotland. Huddersfield in in League One, got them into the Championship. Took over at Crystal Palace in the Championship, and then got ourselves promoted to the Premiership. So yeah, it's been quite a long save. Still got loads of stuff to do. We've only technically won 10 trophies. So, you know, we're sort of 25 left. Lots to do. But Yeah, we're enjoying it. Have to win every single trophy in Britain. That sounds difficult. Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very There's people offline are doing it so much easier than I'm doing it. But yeah, online, we're definitely trying. What's my current badge? I'm currently National A. Do we need to win the European ones as well? We don't need to. We can certainly try. Let's ask about that coaching badge, shall we? Get a new. See if we can get a new coaching badge. I don't think they're going to allow us to have one actually. I think they'll turn it down. I think they're going to think that means that we're going to be like, oh yeah, someone else is going to come in for us. What's our contract looking like as well? That'll probably be a giveaway as well, won't it? Actually, we've got a 2-year contract, so maybe. I'm not massively confident. Man City at home next, top of the table. Who's got a bus? Who's got a bus they can park? Hold a team meeting to make sure everyone's pulling in the same direction and focus on the task in hand. Really? I think that. Why they're suggesting that there's issues? This is brilliant. Oh. Great, there we go. Excellent. Dun, dun, dun. I've already done it, Raggio. I've ruined it. Why did I do it? Why did I go, oh, you know, it's a great idea, upsetting everybody? I know I should have known better. I know. But you know what? It's more fun this way, right? Oh, dear. Fuck's sake. How long have I been playing this game? Do you know what I mean? Like, 30 years. I know the way that this game works. I know that it's designed just to fuck me up. And I walked straight into it like la 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 la. Morning. Oh, wait, we appear to have fucked up. There's a surprise. La 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 la. Like, oh, for God's sake. Any Wonder Kids from the start still playing, like Ferguson, Evan Ferguson. I think Evan Ferguson's still in. Can I send a link to the 15-year-old I got in my intake? You can put it in Discord. Actually, maybe Maxwell might rest. I can't believe I've done that. Literally just shot myself in the foot there. Have a quick look around for more jobs. Hello, is anyone wanting a manager at this point? The Wales job is available, actually. I'm watching the Europa League while playing. No, I've not actually. What's the score so far? Playing quite well, doing all right in the league, just about to play one of the best teams in the league. Let's hold a team meeting and tell everybody that they should be doing better. Even though I didn't really mean it. 1-1, 126 minute. Ooh, penalties. Ferguson's deemed the elite striker in my game right now. He's scored about 20 goals in 4 seasons at Chelsea. That's not a lot, is it? That's not elite. Just the 11 yellows in the Europa League tonight. Oh, good. Liverpool next. So Manchester City first. Liverpool. Both home games, though. So I'm expecting no shots at all. I don't want our players leaving their half or anything. I want us literally counter-attack That's what we want to be doing. It's been aggressive on the sidelines. I think I can imagine. Never seen someone acting and rolling around, plenty of anger and cheating. I mean, it will be. It will be. Mourinho's going to be having a great time, isn't he? All right. Man City at home, then Liverpool, then Southampton away. They're 11th. Then West Ham, 14th. Then Newcastle, who are 12th. Middlesbrough, who are 18th. That takes us up to New Year's, to Boxing Day. And I think if we can hang where we are up until Christmas, I think we've done all right. First goal of Jose team in English first goal at Jose team in European Cup final have conceded to 2003. He just knows, doesn't he? He knows how to do cup finals, that guy. I've just said that I find it funny that Newcastle are struggling. So, how long do you usually stream for? We usually stream for 3 hours, so like 9 till midnight, really. So yeah, so we've got about another hour and a bit. Don't think it's counting staff, just players. I was out on the bookings. 11's a lot. This is like Warnock versus Big Sam in terms of playing styles tonight. Yeah. Who's Warnock? Me or Man City? Ultra casual in with the follow. Appreciate that. Very kind. So we thought we were going to get 6 points out of those last 5 games. We were like, right, let's get that. 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. Well, we did think we'd get 2 wins and it would be Sunderland and Derby. Didn't. Drew those 2 games. Michael Oliver's 4th official is getting a real earful of everyone. 4th official's not a job you want, is it? I think the board seems to have ignored the whole. Can we have a new coaching badge, please? Zandok, welcome in as well. Appreciate the follow. Krista Berg's back. Murphet's back. Maxo's fine. Maxo's wanted by Eintracht Frankfurt and Barcelona. Maxo wanted by Barcelona. Yikes. I mean, I think we all knew we weren't going to keep him forever, but still, that might cause us problems. Zandok, new to Twitch. What's the British Steel Challenge? Here we go. British Steel Challenge Zandok is this. We want to win every single trophy in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland. 35 trophies. It's quite a lot. We've won 10 so far. It's pretty interesting. We're doing okay. I think, to be honest. So hopefully we can keep going. 16 seasons in. This is going to be our save for all season, basically. If we get it finished before FM24, brilliant. I can't see it personally, but we'll try. I haven't used it to introduce myself yet, so I'm using it now. Yeah, welcome, Tom. Penalties. £60 million of Barcelona can have the drunk. 60 million quid just about gets you another right back, yeah? Man and wisdom, once it hits the bar, it could go anywhere. That sounds a lot like Maxo, to be honest. Once he hits the bar, he can go anywhere. 1,000 channel points. They tick along very nicely. They tick along very, very nicely. Start saving them up. 20 minutes in, 0-0. Trying our best to just smother Man City. How long have we been at Palace? This is our third season at Palace. So yeah, we've been all over the place quite a while. First season in the Premierships, we've just been promoted last season. Yeah, 2 seasons in the Championship, first season in the Premier League. But we're probably going to have to leave at some point. We will have to leave if we don't win a cup with them. Warwick pulls it back. Rodriguez getting forward. Daniel Day-Lewis headed away. Bernardo clears it. Get Tony to do a line, it makes the stream interesting. It does. Especially this time of night as well. Just livens everyone up, doesn't it? Luis Roberto headed over the top. Zeep wants a line. Right, okay, right. Zeep. If we're going to do a line, I need a number. Give us a number. $76. Right, okay. Right, so. Right, 76 in the James Milner autobiography, or the James Milner Ask a Footballer a Question book. Let's just mute the music for a second. Right, here we go. So, here's the question. Question is, how can you play adeptly in different positions? Does it take any specific training? I played on the wing or up front when I was in the academy at Leeds. I was mostly on the wing when I broke into the first team, and likewise when I moved to Newcastle and then Villa. I had barely played in central midfield until my final season at Villa, but then Gareth Barry was sold to Man City and Martin O'Neill moved me to the middle alongside Stan Petrov. We didn't even have much of a conversation about it or do a lot of specific work on it in training, but credit to him for recognising that I had the right qualities and for giving me the confidence to believe I could do it. It just seemed to click straight away. I got Young Player of the Year that season, I got the move to City, and I got into the England squad to play on the wing. I'd always had it in my mind that I wanted to move back into midfield, which was one of the attractions of moving to Liverpool. I played a lot more games in central midfield when I moved to Liverpool than I was enjoying it. Then, towards the end of the season, in the build-up to the away game against Manchester United in the Europa League, Alberto Moreno was struggling with an injury. We trained at Carrington, City's old training ground, on the morning of the game, and Albi wasn't fit. So the manager came over to me with a big smile and said, "You've got a choice. Do you want to play left back or right back?" My reply was that this was like being asked which of the lads I wanted to let spend the night with my wife. At the time, the manager's English wasn't great. He'd only been here for 5 months, so probably went over his head. But I chose left back. Despite being predominantly right-footed, I thought it would suit me more. On top of that, I thought there was no point asking Kleiny to move to left back, so I could replace him at right back. My reasoning was it was better to have one of us playing out of position than both of us. It went okay. We drew 1-1 and went through an aggregate. I think that persuaded the manager that I could do a reasonable job there in an emergency. A few months later, we were in Palo Alto, California, for our pre-season training camp when the gaffer asked if I could stay behind after a team meeting. It was one of those where the rest of the lads were looking at me as if to say, "What the hell have you done?" and probably wondering if someone had made an offer for me. They all shuffled out, looking back at me. The gaffer told me he wanted to use me as a left back in the season ahead. It wasn't something I was doing cartwheels about. I told him I really didn't see myself as a left back. He kept saying he thought it was a good idea. Eventually, I said if it was going to work, they were going to have to train me up. They couldn't just expect me to make that adjustment overnight. I wasn't thrilled about it, but if that was the manager's decision, then I was going to have to throw everything into making it work. God, James Milner, just... He makes being picked at left back sound really torturous, doesn't he? I thought that was going to be like thrills, spills, and kills, but no, apparently not. There you go. If you enjoyed that, Tom, that's the sort of entertainment you can get over here. We went through Michael Owen's autobiography first. We're now on James Milner. We're looking for other bad autobiographies. So yeah, we'll try and get some more racked up. 146 minutes in the Europa League final. That's much better than like other games, isn't it? Where like, well, actually, no, let's have a look and work out what the time in play was, because that could be quite interesting, couldn't it? Michael Owens was dreadful. Michael Owens was so bad. Charity shop find where we all felt robbed, and only some people, and there's only me paid for it, everyone else is good. I feel like I've been robbed for that. Did he go to the local college to get trained up 2 hours every Wednesday? Yeah, he did a BTEC in left backs. Great ball over the top, Daniel Day-Lewis. Oh, these sitting guilds. Yeah, he did travel and tourism, and then he also did left backs. Head away, the cure. Right, 18 minutes to go at home to Man City. Everything is so far going according to plan. Maxo knocks it down the line, pings it back in, giving the ball away now. Daniel Day-Lewis nearly creeping in and getting us a goal, almost. Aquino, corner coming in, headed away. Damjanovic back out. Aquino tees it up, clear away again. I wonder, is it time for JJ? I don't know if JJ needs to come into this match, but by the same token, a bit of experience playing against what I'm presuming is the champions. Get him on. I think I've just swapped him for Hayes, and also let's get Roma have missed. Oof. Right, JJ's coming on. He's got the last 10 minutes. He shouldn't be part of sports watching. JJ, no, JJ's at Palace, so he's fine. His career. Now he's got to score. Grimes has been playing, but he has. But let's just hope we get Grimes replaced by the chat, possibly. Yeah, we can do that, can't we? Grimes just giving away a free kick there as well. Just replace him with the chat. Deflect over the top. Camera cutting to Roma fan after missing that. I think there's still a shocked look on his face. Nope, she's just yawning. Love it. Here's Maxo. Launches it down the line. Correa. Maxo. Blocked. Damjanovic. I think we might do it, you know. We've got the ball again. Jones. Correa. Jones. Can't be cleared, can it? Blow the whistle, ref. Maxo down the line. Aquino doesn't get there. Respect the point. Here we go. If you don't bring the youngsters on by the 70th minute, they don't get any development boost. I couldn't bring them on any earlier than that. I really couldn't. That's a huge 0-0, right? 3-1 Sevilla. Who would have thought Sevilla's going to win the Europa League? Yeah, exactly. Out of all the possibilities of the Europa League, Sevilla winning it? Surely not. Surely not. Montel scored, has he? Nice. Sevilla win yet again. Won the World Cup for Argentina. Could win the World Cup could win the Europa. He has done. Saved. Oh. Right. Okay. So Roma need to score now, and then Sevilla need to miss the next one as well. Retake. Oh, it's clearly a goal now, then, isn't it? You can't retake in a shootout, surely. I mean, Sevilla, Sevilla start the season as Europa League champions, don't they? And then they just work backwards to go did they have? Are they going to win it again? Or did they just get to keep it? Like, that's how it works, isn't it? Just right. Most of the time, we're just going to let Sevilla be champions. Yeah. There you go. Retake, keep off the line. They're not doing it again. They're not doing it for the third. This isn't the second retake, is it? Or is this just the reason for why it was retaken? Mourinho's first loss in the European Cup final. Yeah, I think so. He wasn't he 5-0, and Sevilla was 6-0, I think. So yeah. What a dreadful game of football. Sometimes you just have to sit through that sort of thing, don't you? We can pass financial fair play. There we go. Yay. A B rating so far. C rating from the fans. C plus from the fans. The board are happy enough, though. Fans think, well, you know. They're disappointed we're not playing attacking, entertaining football, but we're not getting relegated, so interesting. The fans don't like Daniel Day-Lewis or Murphy at the minute. Disappointed with the 0-0 draw against Chelsea. Really? That seems odd. It seems odd that that's a concern for them. Oxford jobs coming back up again. Pizza Cup, here we come. St Albans, Dollingstown. Bangor. No, it's in the Northern Irish Premiership. Bigsy wants to start more games. Don't worry, Bigsy, you'll be getting in there as well. Right, we need to do a bit of rotation. Don't worry. Farewell, JM. A pleasure as always. Always nice to have you in, my man. Sorry we didn't take the Switzerland job. I'll pop it into I'll send you a DM for the save file so you can keep that. You can join in on it. Yeah, no worries, Tom. Catch you later. Appreciate you dropping in. Trying to bounce through as many games as we can, to be honest. I know we should be sitting doing training and looking at data hubs and stuff. I don't even think I've set the data hub up for this season to see how we're getting on, but right, same side again, I reckon. Go out and do it. Give us another 0-0. That's what we want. Literally, I want teams to be bored. What's this tactic? It's basically it's a 4-5-1. It's more negative than Dyson and away day. we're just having to lock out. We've just used it to draw 0-0 with Man City. So they were top of the league. Liverpool are second. So we figured, right, we might need to do the same against them. So yeah, it's all about staying in the league, isn't it? We're not going to win the title, so maybe we have to try and sort of like work out who's not going to win the title. So nice to see you, Jordan. I hope you're good. We do play a little bit more expansive when there's teams we think we can do well against. Not many clubs playing that way either. We're not. We're out of the Carabao, sadly. We need to wait for the FA Cup, so that's ticking around in January. So hopefully we can get there soon with that, but not relegated. Slowly nudging our way forward. We're only 6 points off the Europa spots, so it's not working. Survive and build unless something better comes up. Yeah. Surprised you're next to the stage, right? We've looked, George. There's not really been anything that's better, to be honest. We had a little nosy around. Not much is jumping out at us. Any of us. We got offered the Swiss national job. That was interesting. But I remembered that, of course, we're not doing anything outside of Britain, so we turned it down. Neutralised the threat. We did indeed. Do I like managing national teams? That's Mr. Life. Not really. I must admit, I find it quite boring. I find international football quite boring, so I don't really find international management fun. I think we'll take the Scotland job if it comes out, but yeah, I'm not hugely fussed about it. As Raju says, we've not managed any Swiss players, so it seems a strange one. If there was a Scandinavian job comes up, we've got a couple of Scandinavian players in here, but more importantly, if Scotland or Wales, Northern Ireland comes at us, then I think we'd probably stand more of a chance to be like, yes, we should probably do something like that. You know, because we've managed those sorts of players before, and again, British as part of the challenge, so that would be handy to sort of be like, all right, you know, maybe qualify for the Euros, you know, or something like that. Technical familiarity doesn't stay between international breaks. I can see that could be a bit of a problem, especially if you're switching the squads around a lot. I won't take the Zimbabwe job. It's unlikely. Mr. Life. Yeah. It might impact us a little bit in terms of the British steel. Well, not necessarily impact us, but probably won't be able to give my all. More chance than the England one. Potentially. Who knows? Maybe when I've done something good with Airbus UK, maybe I'll be back on the radar. Hayes is injured, isn't he? So, right, time for Big Z to come on. Nelson, good save. Be looking at how many Zimbabwe players in the save. I guess so. Scoring a goal with that team is deemed Hall of Fame status. Maybe San Marino, isn't it? Gibraltar's part of the UK. Is it? It's definitely not part of the British Isles, I know that much. Again, I don't think there's many Gibraltar players that we've seen in the save so far that would make their way into the national side. Daniel Day-Lewis intercepts. Grimes, Biggs, Daniel Day-Lewis. Disallowed, I think, isn't it? Do you want the official ruling from someone who works there? Yes, I do, George. Give us the answer. Oh. let's head to the Falklands and cause an international incident while winning the league. Yeah, it's a British overseas territory. Yes, that's the it's part of the Commonwealth, self-governing British overseas territory. Yeah, part of the Commonwealth. So it's not really part of the British Steel Challenge, so is it? Yeah. I'm certainly not getting into any more geopolitical issues than I got myself in normally. I mean, I'm struggling enough. Offside, come on, you're going to disallow mine. You disallow mine, but not theirs. Fuck off. Typical Liverpool bias. FM24, this is the Commonwealth Steel Challenge. Talk me through it, Dan. Talk me through it. Who will be in the Commonwealth Steel? England? Here's where I get it all wrong, isn't it? Here's where I get it all wrong. England, Canada? Australia? Is that still part of the Commonwealth? Jamaica? Canada, Bermuda? Bigsy off the bar. That's one of those, isn't it? Some of them you get, some of them you don't. Australia, USA. The two players who left Spurs won a trophy for Spurs and want us to go back in the summer. We've looked at a few sort of alternate steel challenges for next year. I think we could be on to a couple of good ones actually. Only Gibraltar and Tavula have it as official bank holiday. I mean that to me, if that's an official bank holiday, that's definitely a thing. They take it seriously. Nelson's tipped over the top. Scandinavian Steel Challenge sounds lovely. Scandinavian one's good. I mean, we've pretty much done, because we've done Scandinavia before, but then obviously we can put the Nordic element in, so like Iceland and Finland, which will make it really good and make it a bit more interesting. Eastern European one I think is going to be great because it's all just what a clearance that is by the Cure. It's just all like Wonder Kid Central essentially, isn't it? It's not the most viewer friendly, I think, possibly. Iberian Ironman, bonus points if you win all of Spain with Andorra. Talk me through the Iberian one again, because I think we've got that in the discussion, haven't we? But Andorra is an option, you know. Is Iberia, Spain and Portugal? That deserved to go. That was great play. Yeah, that could be good actually. There was a sort of like obviously a mainland Europe one as well, and like trying to extra points for winning it with the islands. Yeah, I like that. That's quite fun. Eyes through. That's 3. Custom leagues of Andorra and Gibraltar. Second yellow card did an islands only journeyman once. Did he? That sounds fun. It does sound fun. But some of those, it's like we obviously got to wait for the database, don't we? So we don't necessarily get straight into it, which I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, given how long it takes me to do things. Maybe there on day one, it's still not going to be enough, is it? Still reckon Central European one was the best. Germany, Austria, Netherlands, Switzerland. Reverend Scott, appreciate the follow. Alps one did sound good as well. Switzerland, Germany, Italy, France, I think, Austria. A global steel challenge. I've got to win everything in the world. Austria, France, Germany, Italy, Liechtenstein, Monaco, Slovenia, Switzerland. There we go. That's the one. How many hairs on your chest? All the hairs. An actual forest of hair on your chest. Only the 65 seasons to try and get that one done, I think. So, a bit frustrated. 0-0 against City. 3-0 defeat against Liverpool. Goal disallowed. Winning everything with the hardest being the Community Shield. Yeah, but that's again part of the frustration, where you have to win the Community Shield as well. I'm trying to issue. I got 7 and 8. Save corrupted pre-Germany. Oh no. Still not going to win the Pizza Cup. We will. Don't worry, we will. That's a disappointing. You managed Vardos 3 times. They're the Liechtenstein club, aren't they? Is that right? I'm essentially doing Asian Steel season 62, just the A-League to go. Ooh, talk to me about the Asian Steel. Supporters seem to be disappointed you didn't play a particularly eye-catching manner today, despite it being understood that you'd agreed to do so. I mean, we lost 3-0. I don't know about whether tiki-taka is the way to go. The Americas road trip, you could try and win all the leagues in the Americas, go from top to bottom. See, I like that idea, but I know that viewers obviously we'll lose a lot if we started doing things like MLS. I hate to think of it like this, but we would lose a load of people who'd be like, I don't understand how the draft system works. I don't understand how MLS works. Right, I'm out. Bye. Brazil Division 2. No, not for us. Thanks. Bye. Right. So that's where I'm kind of in a bit of a quandary, where I need to try and make it. If you give viewers what you want, you just do the non-league to hero every year with Farnborough. If I gave viewers what they wanted, we'd be at Newcastle now. So, yes, I do take your point, actually. If you win the Pizza Cup, do you get unlimited pizza? I think that, yeah, 100% means it, like, 100%. Yeah, I think if we were doing what viewers wanted, it would be Newcastle, Man City, Liverpool, Champions League. That'd be it. England win a World Cup. That's where it'd be. And Newcastle with Paul Ward. I believe your main core viewers are intelligent enough to want to broaden their horizon and do some less mainstream saves. I agree, Jord. I think you're right. I think that is the thing. I think I've garnered enough support, I think, over the last 2 years to be able to do something that's a little bit off the wall. Like we did Indonesia, and our numbers were all right, weren't they? So yeah, I think people will be like, yeah, Indonesia's the thing. You known as the guy who hates modern football. Yeah, you could have just left that out as football, to be honest. Yeah. What do we hate? Football. When do we want it? Back in the day when it was good again. Catchy. Thanks. I find sometimes the less mainstream saves the most fun. Oh, they absolutely are. They absolutely are, because that's where the stories get built. You know? Save mine is Asia only. It's been more fun than any non-league to Champions League winners in a 10-year save. Indonesian football is the greatest on the planet. There, Salty B knows what it's all about, don't you? Salty B knows. And you should all be following Salty B. And if you're not, why not? Go and give that man some love. He deserves all your love. Brazilian Division 2 is only a chance of an animation change from the 22 players chasing the ref and having a scrap. Yeah, it's, would you like to play 72 games? Yes. Good. Welcome to Brazil. Krista Berger's going to come in as well. And you know what? Grimes isn't playing particularly well. I managed PSPS. Start off in Indonesia, relegated season 2, almost gave up. We started at Sleman, which was great, and then we went to Pesita, and then ended up winning with PSIS. PSIS, yeah. Loved it. Been lurking away, have to dish him the internet, have to dip in with the Indonesian chat, mate. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure having you in. You know that. I help steal one of the broadest appeals of hardcore chat and the occasional viewer who actually have heard of the clubs that you're managing. Yeah, agree. I'd rather watch you just say it makes you happy to do it. Oh, there you go. Watching City, Newcastle, PSG would be a bit of a bore. Agreed, Dan. No end up watching Tony Trifles 24/7. Do that as well. Do a trifle steal challenge. I have to go to all the places where like trifles are eaten. It's everywhere, Tony. Just sounds like you're trying to do like a shopping challenge. Hong Kong was fun. 16-game league season. There was only 4 cups. I like the sound of that, Otto. Is that custom database though, Hong Kong? Winning everything is boring. I play FM for pain. Oh, miss a life. If you want pain, you've come to the right place. Winning is boring. Sadibi blocks. Hong Kong is in the default game. Oh, okay. Got the new Asian formats in the Discord. Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't think I've not even looked around a great deal this season. Obviously, we jumped straight into here for British Steel, and that's been our main save. Obviously, we had the Sheffield Wednesday save for the Athletic, and then we had a little bit of fun with Sunderland and a bit with Dusseldorf, but I'm not really ventured too far, to be honest. Injury to Damjanovic. Question with trifle question: sponge or without sponge at the bottom? I mean, you've got to have sponge at the bottom, surely. Otherwise, it's just a ball of jelly and custard. Which, don't get me wrong. Offside ref? Apparently not. There's a trifle. Is that a trifle without sponge? I don't even think you can have a sponge. A trifle without sponge, can you? It's just, for me, that's just a ball of jelly and custard. We should have a TJ challenge. Sheffield Wednesday, Aberdeen and Bordeaux. Oh, God. Keezer, correct me if I'm wrong, but were you on the Football Manager documentary with Blythe? You are indeed correct, Keezer. You are correct. Yes, I was. I did the stand-up show, Football Manager in My Life. 50 seasons with Blythe Spartans we talked about on that show. So I've never gone back to Blythe either. Never gone back to manage Blythe Spartans. I feel as though it's one of those ones where I just can't return because I've sort of done it, if that makes sense. And it would just be inevitable. If I went back, I'd get sacked, and they would be like, thought you were meant to be brilliant with Blythe, and it was like, yeah, I was good on that game. I was like, FM10. You know what I was doing then. Oh, come on. Don't go and see this now. It's staying up the main objective this season. 100% means a life. Yeah, if we can stay up and get ourselves basically solidified as a Premiership club, then we can look to move on. We need to win a trophy, essentially, so that's the That's the first port of call. But if we can't get one, we obviously have to look for a better side. Could have picked a better team. We could have done, but obviously the whole thing with Blythe Spartans was that was a team that was close to me, and that was a team that was available. So did that. Could have just picked Paris Saint-Germain and won the Champions League straight away, but that would have been boring. Very, very boring. I have a feeling I don't want to choose a club you've already did with past FMs. Yeah, I just feel as though it's like those. It's like something you've already done, in it. Like you're always going to be comparing it to what you've done before. Like even now, if I took Blythe Spartans on, which I'm not going to do, there's part of me is sitting there going like, wish we had certain players from the Blythe Spartans team that I had back then. I'd instantly be comparing them, which of course is difficult. Because they were new gens as well, and 10 years removed, so no idea. Gateshead fan, oh cool, nice to have you in, man. Yeah, I'm Sunderland, so it's Spartans was just a nice one just to have a go with, to be honest. Unfortunately, years ago, only time I was ever invested in and do a Blythe. Yeah, that's the thing. You can get caught up in stuff with FM, and that's one of those things where I didn't have any connection to the club, to be honest, at the time. But having done the show and done what we did with it, the club were really nice to me, to be honest. So it was it sort of ended up being mutually beneficial for both of us. Krista Berg, come on, mate, put your foot in. Chat. You from around Blythe or just a random punt? No, I'm from Washington, Keezer. I'm originally from Washington, but I live down in York now. Lovely ball through. There's Big Z. Does that one count? Yes, it does. Uploaded a file to the continent's ideas, every playable league sorted by rep. Oh dear. Robertson, what a ball that is. Biggs with a great finish. Four corners of Europe challenge, north, south, east and west. Tell me more, Dan. So the most northern club, the most northern part of Europe, the most eastern part of Europe, and the most western part and southern part, maybe? So I'm guessing the most eastern part of Europe would technically still be Russia, is that right? So that might be a bit of an issue. Oh. North is Tromsø. It is, isn't it? Yeah. It's pretty much the Antarctic. It's pretty much the Arctic. Arctic is the top bit, isn't it? I think. You recognise my voice from somewhere. Oh, bless you, mate. Yeah, or if you've been listening to the Athletic podcast as well, I'm on that as well. But nice to have you in though. Alphabet challenge, start with the team beginning with A. We've talked about that, believe it or not, Mr. Life. That has been on the table. Anthony's injury might be really bad. I think Anthony's replacement is Diallo, isn't it? Really. Or Sancho maybe. Oh no. Defence just cut open again, isn't it? The Pelly, Roddick and Panzu challenge. Go from non-league to the Premier League while keeping one player to start and 11 throughout. Could work. Who's Pelly, Roddick and Panzu? Is that an actual real life player, is it? Mason Mount's agreed terms with Man U. Decent signing, to be honest. I think a lot of coaches seem to like him, so interesting to see where he fits in. Even Jebaru, how are you? Pleasure having you here. Go on, Christopher. Oh. Oh, that's the Luton Town player. All right, okay, got you. I guess the problem is that eventually that player's just going to be a bit too shit. We're nearly getting through. Conor Wiki, the most eastern point of the EU is Ayia Napa. Really? Oh. 3-1 now. How are we 3-1 down? Defence is just open up, innit? Like, both centre halves have given up. We're only four. Okay, we're 4 points above relegation now. Not great form, but you know, it's fine. We're only expected to battle against relegation. Remember, or avoid relegation. We could still do that. We currently are outside the relegation zone, so it's not a major issue. You know, we might struggle a little bit. We might have to rethink a couple of things. Yeah, 17th or above, fine. No, the queue, the turns falls apart. Yeah. Maybe he organises them better than we thought, to be honest. Do Neil Warnock challenge, go on holiday from May through February, take over as bottom of the championship on February the 1st and keep them up. Could do it. Could do it. It's a bad defeat, that one. 2 3-1 defeats in a row. 6 goals conceded in 2 matches. Worrying. Very, very worrying. Both at home as well. So no, both at home, sorry. Home to Liverpool, away to... I do really, really like it. I love it, love it, love it. We did talk about the Neil Warnock challenge a while ago. Might be something we have to look at some point. But then again, a lot of people hate things like that, so we'll have to see. Mountain Peak Challenge, take over the nearest clubs to mountains across Europe and try and climb as high as you can. That's interesting. In the Discord, we're loving it. If you take over a relegated team and get them promoted, resign and carry on the cycle. That feels much more like me, doesn't it? Screw you on Thursday. There's still nothing really jumping out at us in terms of jobs coming up. UK Garage Thursday. I mean, it could be a thing, Jebru. I can't imagine we'll get DMCA'd because, you know, what is it? No one's going to really care enough, are they? Did the club ever get back to us about what about the manager teams that never won a trophy? It's a lot of those teams, isn't it? A lot of teams that never won a trophy. Is Garage even popular now? I think the 90s is popular now, George, so possibly. But again, was Garage more of an early 2000s thing? Possibly. Could probably a DJ looking MC neat here for a tenner and a panda pop. More than likely. More than likely. Ajax players under 23 only. It's a fairly popular one. Wouldn't waste the panda pop. Yeah, You can get Shanks, but not Bigfoot. Yeah, he refuses to do it anymore now. He works in a bank. Managed teams the last won the league titles before World War One. Interesting. Hello, Cozza Bob. Welcome. How was the Cozza Cup? Congratulations to all of its participants and, of course, winners. Commiserations to its losers. But it's all about taking part in it, you know? It's a fun one, the Cozza Cup. How are we, sir? Who's the club in Spain that can only sign players from a certain region? That's the Basques, so it's Bilbao. Do a journeyman, you can imagine a team starting with the last letter of your current team. It's a nice little twist, actually, on the alphabet. Good luck managing Jerez. We could do a journeyman as to clubs where nations where I've actually been. I mean, that would really narrow things down, sadly, but get Matt to do 21 seconds, all members of So Solid Crew. He would love that. He's done it before. James Beattie. FA Cup 3rd round draw. Fulham. Retribution time. Right, we need to beat Fulham. If we don't, we have to start looking for a new club, to be honest. Cozza Bob, 7-month subscription. Appreciate you, Cozza Bob. You lovely human being, you. You wonderful man. Palace take on a Cottage. Well, the Cottage won last time. That's the problem. So, we need to try and overturn that. I also like License to Thrill. When all of the licensed leagues in FM, there's no need for any graphic or name fixes. All of the ones you can manage will be correct. That's smart. That is very smart. Win against every club in the 92 in the shortest time possible. Fun. Why did you really like it? Did it start at the end of the Dragon? Did it? I can't remember it, to be honest. I can't remember it as accurately as you can, Jeb. But I mean, I'm guessing if you're saying it happens. Forgot the rap. Jeb asked the important questions. He does, Adam. He's always there. Always asking the questions. Will be best to start in League 2. It'll be easier starting in League 2. Absolutely easier, but what if you started elsewhere? Then what? We also had no Hayes as well, which is worrying. Murphet can come back in. Quino there as well. Z looks like he's flagging a bit, so let's put Jones in. Sure, not allowed to start any of the leagues. I mean, yeah, I guess you'd have to start unemployed, wouldn't you? Really, and end up wherever you end up. You know, that's how I would think it probably works. Get promoted from League 2 to the Premier League, easy peasy. It's not that difficult, is it? Really, one club or multiple clubs. Well, make it harder by doing it one club, but then you get. I guess the issue is if you get sacked, challenge over. That seems unfair to say, right, you've got to beat all 92 league clubs, but by the way, you can only do it with one club. That's it. Pick your club. If you don't do it with them, then tough shit. You'll be stuck on 91 if you manage one of the original 92. There. That's it. George found the loophole. Unless you organise a friendly against your reserves, lose. Oh, wait, no. You'd have to manage the reserves, beat the first team. Judas Challenger, 5 seasons to try and win a major league title in major nations. If you fail with one team, your next club in that nation has to be the biggest rival. don't know how you'd manage to do that though, because you'd struggle to always get the rival, wouldn't you? Brian Clough challenge, win consecutive Champions League titles, start with a mid-table championship club. You need an editor to do it. See, we're making things a bit more tricky now, aren't we? When we're starting to get third-party tools involved, then it's just getting a bit trickier. Reputation ladder challenge. Lead the 10 leagues in Europe. Offside, ref. No, apparently there's no such thing as offside in the Premier League. Lead the top 10 leagues in Europe and win the 10th ranked league and move to the 9th. So yeah, that works. Biggsy with a free kick. Oh, good save. Top of the Giant challenge, get City, PSG, Juventus, Barcelona and Real Madrid all relegated. You wouldn't be able to do that. You wouldn't be able to do that. You'd be sacked before you got those clubs relegated. And then you wouldn't get the opportunity to go manage the other clubs to do the same thing. Offside only counts when it's Crystal Palace. It's a conspiracy against us. I'm happy to call it now. Correa, blocks, corner. Taking 16 seasons to get United relegated, we still didn't get offered the job. True. Four points off the relegation zone here. Also lesser known journeyman of managing clubs who don't play in their own country. That's a one. That's the one. Never seen Madrid or Barcelona get relegated in your saves. I don't know if they would actually. But I guess, we've seen Man U get relegated, so it must be possible. Saying Correa. The cure deflects up over the top. Another corner. I've seen Man City relegated once, 2077. That's quite a way in. That's quite a way in. Kira Renzo clears it. Can't beat a level 10 non-league to Premier League challenge, to be honest. Again, TikTok was a British Airways FC in League One. British Airways FC. Nice. Spurs go down very early, very often. Yeah, Spurs do get relegated. Everton, of course, are in the Championship here. In this save. Saves flying up the leagues. Yes, you could. You could. And you should. Cadbury's Football Club. What if Damjanovic just intercepted? So Arsenal get relegated and win the FA Cup in the same season. Oh, did a Wigan. Sheffield Wednesday and Birmingham all seem to work their way down. Yeah. Birmingham are in League 2 in our game. So Wednesday actually. Chat. Ball on the top for Murphy. Gone down a heap. He's injured again. Chat with an effort. Oh, Murphy, what have you done? Don't be too badly injured. Let's take you off just in case, but it's also Botswana Meat Factory. I mean, Botswana Meat Factory sounds like filling yourself what it sounds like. Come on, boys. 9 shots, 4 on target. West Ham had 2. They're 1-0 up. That's why the Meat Factory's a real team. I mean, I wasn't doubting it is, but it sounds great. And it ties in nicely with just managing teams with weird names. Correa! There you go. Night, George. Pleasure having you in as always. That's Deportivo Wanky, for example. Yeah. I mean, we could do that, you know. Get that. Oi, lads. We've got a team full of wankers. Isn't that amazing? We could do that. I think there's a lot of great ideas, and I think we'll be able to pick out the one that we want for next year at some point. But I think something like this that's got a bit of chaos to it, where you have to go, you're building your reputation up, and then at some point you're gonna have to tank your reputation to go somewhere else to get some trophies. That feels fun to me. It's a journeyman with a point. Why haven't we done this sooner? I don't know. Bigsy. Quino. Well, he's great for personal save, not for Twitch. There you go. I've got to think about the viewer, guys. Quino. Cure heads it wide. He normally scores at the back post. Chat Hayes. Great ball for Aquino. Correa. Offside, isn't it? Because it's for us. I do think he's a mile offside, to be honest. I think he's a mile off. He's so far offside, it's ridiculous. He's offside here. He's offside there as well. You want to draw the lines? He's on. He's onside. We have a goal. It counts and everything. I'm not sure he's on, but hey, look. We're using the VAR that the Liverpool game had. Let's not question it, right? It is. Right? However they've done it, they've sorted it out. It's fine. Personally, I'm not convinced, but it's fine. Smile and move on. Yeah, well played. Technology has done us a solid here. FM24, the Championship is going to be better than the Premier League. What league is going to be? Oh, the Premier League's. I mean, to be fair, the Championship is just, for me, Burnley fan. I'm a massive Championship fan anyway. League One fan. I hate the Premier League. I just find it so dull and boring. As a league to watch in real life, it's going to be brilliant. In FM, it's going to be so difficult, so difficult. But yeah, there's going to be so many challenges in there. Aquino whips it back in, headed away. I think Leeds are going to be very popular. I think Leicester are going to be very popular. Keep it saved, it's fine, don't worry. 3 points against West Ham. Person I loathe managing England. Yeah, I get that. Like I think that. See, I start non-leagues. That's how I do it. So I don't have to bother with the Premier League so much until it gets to this point when there's loads of new gens and it doesn't really matter. You know. At that point, it just becomes a different universe, really. It's just to be the dark horses of the Championship. They'll sneak in the playoffs. They could do a Sunderland. Of course, don't forget Sunderland in there as well. Correa. Oh, Aquino. So close. Three points. Love it. Love it. Moves us above West Ham. Right. Murphy out for 2 days. That's fine, don't worry. 8 days until we play that lot. Who do you think will get promoted from the Championship? Genuinely, no idea. No idea, Mesa Life. No idea at all. Oh, God. That looks like a dreadful intake. It could be anybody. I mean, like, you know, we don't know what the recruitment's gonna be like. We don't know, like, form, all that sort of stuff. There's no way of working out right now. The three going down could come straight back up or straight back down again. They could do. I'll call it now, though, Adam. I don't think the three who come down are going straight back up. They could, but they're not. They're not. Like, no chance at all. I've said a lot of times, the bottom 12 in the Premiership would not be the bottom 12. Would not be the top 12 in the Championship. So that's the interest. That's the difficult thing. Like, you get into the Championship, you're not coming straight back up. You're not guaranteed. And I don't think the three that have gone down. I don't need. Right, I'm going to call it now because it might well be wrong. I don't even know if any of them come back up. I don't know if any of them come back up because they're all badly ran off the pitch. And you mean Leicester have got no money. Like, they spend a lot of money and they're not going to generate enough player sales. I know they've got Madison, they've got Barnes, but it's going to be a tricky one to recruit. Plus, they've got no manager. Southampton obviously going to lose a couple of good players. What their situation is like, I don't know. Leeds owe 100 million in player transfers, like in player payments still. Sorry, so where they're going to be going, I've got no idea. Who's going to be in charge of them? Who knows? Like, it could take them a while. Do you know what I mean? If Everton had gone down, Everton were done for, absolutely done for. Burnley fan, they would have been well and truly done. So it's a difficult one, isn't it? And that's at this stage, like, without even knowing what happens next, because anything could happen right now. We've got no idea. I'll offer an opinion, but I don't have one. Says Wilsonia. There you go. There's a fence. Wilsonia has sat on it. Don't move them. Right. Very comfortable, having a great time. Thank you very much. Lee should never have sacked Bielsa. They needed to freshen things up at the time, I think. But it's easy to speak with hindsight, isn't it? That's the thing. Everything's easy to speak with hindsight. You know, it's like saying Villa should never have hired Gerrard. Like, we all know that. But at the time, Christian Purslow thought it was a great idea to get his mate involved. But, yeah, Torres shouldn't have moved to Chelsea. Those sorts of things. It's like, would Bielsa have done any better? Who knows? Who knows? Allardyce should be finished as a Premier League manager. He had 5 games. Right. Allardyce was in an absolute no-lose situation with this, by the way. Okay? If he gets relegated, then everyone goes, he only had 5 games. What's he going to do? Yeah? But if he keeps them up, he goes, look at me, look how good I am. I kept them up. That's how good a manager I am. I can keep a team up with 5 games to go. 4 games, 5 games. Absolute no-lose situation for Big Sam. What Leeds should have done was put Big Sam in 5 games previous. They should have given him 10 games. And out of the 4 of them and 2 of them when you were sitting in Newcastle. Yeah. All right, so we had 2 games then to save Leeds. If that's how we're going to do it with what you would say when you get your planner out and you work out your fixtures, you're right. At that point, you're probably not putting down 2 victories there. So right, so we had 2 games to save Leeds. He's absolutely gonna come away with this fine. Just whatever. If we stay up, great. If not, not a problem. City, Newcastle, West Ham and Spurs. Yeah. As I said, that the fact Leeds got relegated is not Big Sam's fault, and Big Sam is not. There's no way that everyone's going, oh, you know what, Big Sam's a shit manager now. Nah, not at all. Not at all. It's like criticising Dean Smith for relegating Leicester. It's not his fault. Gave the keeper injections, yeah. We need to get him through the next game. Hlusek's fine, but what do we think? Would you play Hlusek in this match against Newcastle? Marsh's fault partly, Gracia partly, owners definitely. Big Sam not at all. That's it right there. Cure's injured as well. Biggsy's injured. Damjanovic is injured. Coming up to Christmas, he's starting to mount up now. Alright, we'll play the Newcastle game, and that'll be us for tonight, I think. And then tomorrow, should we do tomorrow? Might do tomorrow. Definitely do Friday. The next stream's Christmas. Transfer window again. Transfer window seems to have come around quick. Amazed at how quick we've actually got into the transfer window, to be honest. I was expecting the league to take a lot longer, but we've flown through it. Murphy injured. Damjanovic injured. Everyone's out injured. I bet Leeds, Leicester, Southampton were livid. They didn't have to qualify to Grace Kenneth Road next season. Look, Luton did what they had to do. Luton played incredibly well this season. They got promoted. I love the fact that Luton are promoted because the Premier League hated the idea of Luton or Coventry going up. That's the thing. They hated that idea. So I love the fact that they've done it. It's great. Same as when Burnley went up. I think there's, most of the Premier League hated the idea of Burnley going up. They hated the idea of Huddersfield going up. They hated the idea of Barnsley being up there years ago. Swindon. The Premier League hate the idea of unfashionable clubs being there because it looks bad on telly. That's how they see it. So, up the unfashionable sides. Exactly what Sonia. More of those teams, please. Coventry Luton was a League 2 fixture less than 5 years ago. Yeah. Again, it's less than 20 years ago that Man City were in the 3rd division. football changes. Coventry used to be in the Premier League. They were founding members of the Premier League. So, them, Ipswich, Oldham, of course, were founding members of the Premier League. They're now the first team to play non-league football. That's only 30 years ago. Ipswich in Europe, yeah, just picking Sunderland. I was born, Ipswich finished 5th in the Premier League. How times have changed. Yeah, Norwich finished 3rd, didn't they? Beating Bayern Munich in Europe. Villa finished 2nd. Beating Inter Milan. All things change apart from Gillingham. Yeah, some sides just like where they are. York City have never played in the Premiership or in the top division. Low risk, low reward. Yeah, some people are just happy in the middle lane, aren't they? I think we're playing a little bit too high. We're getting caught out quite a few times. Z just clops someone there. Yeah, I'll probably hit that high defensive line. Isn't exactly doing us any favours. So he's dropped a smidge. Correa gets away. Harvey. Prevost. Ballesteros. Blocked. Corner. Ballesteros chip was good on him. It was, wasn't it? It was lovely. Trying to think of another golf pun. Going from a Titleist angle, maybe. It's the name of a golf ball. Wonder which club he's going to play for. Penalty. Fuck's sake. Was that a Simi Ballesteros reference? Yes, 100%. Two lads from United have been disappointed when they've played. McDonald, yes. Grimes, I think Grimes does what he needs to do. He doesn't get a good enough rating for it, if that makes sense. Ironically, I think the chat's sort of come in and done as good a job. And we were concerned about him. Severe lack of Serbian wonder kids in this team. Scandinavian wonder kids is what we've got, Adam. Hayes just thrown himself in. Hayes has kind of gone off the ball as well a little bit. 6.5 again here. Not a Burnley fan. I'm with the follow. Appreciate you, buddy. Mazzala's not quite having the effect that we hoped. Better display in the second half, please. Everyone's picking up yellow cards. Just kind of losing our discipline a little bit, to be honest. Early mid-season slog, we're a little bit tired, and enthusiasm is flagging. Yeah. As we said, though, at the start of tonight, I think it was, if we could get to Christmas and we're still kind of in that bottom of the top half section, or like the sort of top of the bottom half, we'd be happy. 13th. 6 points away from mid-table. It's about where we want, isn't it, really? We're still not bottom, we're still not in the relegation battle, per se. 6 points is still quite a lot at this stage. Technically, 19 points, well, we're halfway to safety, you know? We're halfway to safety. Go on, JJ, on you go. If we can replicate this again in the second half of the season, get some fresh legs in there, then that'll certainly help us. We've got a centre back to bring on. Bring Daniel Day-Lewis on for career. Z's having a dreadful match as well. Chat. Oh, Queen decides not to bother going for it. Nicky Williams. Do I think Luton will win 10 games? Probably not. Probably not. What was who won the least amount of games this season? 10 games is 30 points. No chance. No chance. And then a couple of draws as well. Nah. But again, we don't know. We don't know who they're going to recruit. We don't know how they're going to get on. They might well just be able to rough enough results out. They might suddenly end up playing like a great, some fantastic football. They might just get results. Who knows? Would anyone have predicted Brighton being where they were this season? No. Again, we're making predictions before the transfer window's even opened. So, probably unlikely, but you never know. Yeah, who knows? You know, their expectation will be battle bravely against relegation. They're expected to go down. I'm guessing they will be set up in their meeting. They'll say, right, we're here for a season. We're back down. That's what they'll be planning for. At that point, you're then going, right, anything that's not that is an absolute bonus. So you got to think it's a narrow pitch at home. Fans are right on top of you. That can play to your advantage. A team like Man City, for example, won't have as much space to play into. There's no space in the wings. There's no space in the channels because there isn't any space. It's a narrow pitch. That might be tricky. You know, if they keep the same sort of physical style that they've got this season, then yeah, that'll cause teams concern. Set pieces they look dangerous at. But again, that's a bit of disrespect for them to say that's all they have. They have got some decent players. They've got some other options as well. But ultimately, you do what you need to do to survive. And if they're going to do the set play route and the physical route, fine, great, do it. That's got to be your thing. There's no point them going, right, we're in the Premier League, we have to play tiki-taka football. If you've not got the players to do it, why would you do it? That's suicidal. Absolutely ridiculous. You've got to play at your strengths. And that's where certain teams either do really well or struggle because they go, right, we're going to try and match up against the opposition. Sometimes just play your own game. Like, play your own game first. You know? You can't outplay the Arsenals and Cities, but you can outwork them. Exactly. And work rate beats everything. Like, work rate beats talent every single day of the week. You know? Because if you're willing to do more than the person who's got talent, then you've got an absolute chance. An absolute chance. Yeah. I think that feels like a reasonable place to leave it, to be honest. I think we've done pretty well tonight. We've got ourselves up to Christmas. We'll do the Middlesbrough game, which of course is Boxing Day. Either tomorrow or Friday. Make sure you're in the Discord for keeping up to date with when we go back live. As I say, it's probably going to be probably Friday, but it might be tomorrow. Keep your eyes peeled. But I think it's time to go and drop a little raid on now. So we're going to go and check out Limo. We were going to go yesterday, but he went on a little break. So go and give him some love. If you've not seen Limo before, you're in for a treat. If you have seen Limo before, you're in for a treat. Right. Much love, everyone. Take care. See you all soon. Bye now.